everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So it's time to decorate both my favourite and least favourite week of the year, which is Valentine's week. I hate it because it's a massive beat up for people who are in relationships, and I remember what it was like to not be in one. But I love it because I like decorating with hearts and pretty colours, and I think Valentine's Day tends to bring out the best colours of the year. So it is a love-hate relationship I have with Valentine's week, but Kikki.k makes you love it even if you don't, because their collections are always gorgeous. So let's take the week out of our planners and put it over to the side. So continuing on from last week, you'll see I have a lot of sport on the weekend because, let's face it, it's me and I can't not have sport on the weekend. So we're going to be doing an envelope. I will try and come up with other ways to kind of keep all my footy stuff in check in the next couple of weeks, but just for now it works really well, and so I like going the way that I'm going. So I'm going to start off with the gorgeous little Love Notes notepad from Kikki.k, and I'm grabbing this page here with the spots. Now, the only downside to this notepad, which I have done a walkthrough of, which I'll link down below for you, is because it's a little bit smaller, you can't use it down the side. So you kind of have to use it across the bottom, and even then you are really cutting it fine. So I am going to use them down the bottom. We'll see how we go with it because I'm kind of just guessing with this at the moment. So what I'm going to do is just trim off about 1 centimetre-ish of the paper. I'm just using my trimmer as a guide. I'm just going to see if that's too much. I think it is. I basically want it to sit just under that line. So what I'm going to do is stick it down where I want it, and then I can trim off the excess afterwards. So I'm just grabbing my glue tape and putting this in a spot where I can actually get the glue where I want it to go. I've gone over a little bit there, but that's okay. I can fix it up after. So then, because I've got only just a little bit of paper to work with, I'm trying not to do this twice. Not quite perfect, but it'll do. And then I'm just grabbing my eraser and just rubbing off the excess glue. I just find with these glue dots, they're really easy to get rid of once they're on a page, just by rubbing them off. And then just going to trim off the excess with my trimmer. Okay, so I'm just going to do the exact same thing with the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back in just a second. There you go. So that's what it looks like once it's done. It is very, very sparse. That's the problem sometimes with these spotty pages in particular. They look really good when there's a lot of spots, but they don't look quite so good when there's less. I'm still deciding what I'm going to do with the top, but I do know that I need to put an envelope on, which I have pre-made so that you guys don't have to sit through it. Just grabbing it. Oh, there we go. So that's my envelope, and then what I've done, if you saw my video on Thursday on the Diary Lovers gift or printable for the month, it was just this gorgeous little photo frame. So what I've done is I've stuck that down on 4 pieces of cardboard, and just to give it a bit of dimension, and then what I'm going to do is stick it off to the side here so that it sort of sits like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my picture, which I also showed you on Thursday, and I'm actually going to put that where it needs to be. So I'm just going to stick around the outside of the frame, and then put it where it needs to be, and then just trim off the excess. Okay. And you can do that either with scissors or with a knife or with your paper trimmer. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to try with my paper trimmer. I don't think it's going to work. Because it's such a, yeah, not too high. Because the frame itself is actually raised a little bit, it won't let my blade hit the paper. I could do it upside down, but then you're sort of risking not being able to see what you're doing. So I'm just going to do it with scissors instead. So there's the little frame. I just wanted a little bit of dimension with it. I just thought when it was just the piece of paper, it didn't quite feel like a frame. It kind of felt more like just a piece of paper around a picture. So by adding the couple of pieces of cardboard, you've added some height to it, which then makes it feel like a frame. So just grabbing my envelope, I just made this out of a piece of paper from the Flow Paper Lovers book. And then I'm just going to hold that where I want it and put my holes in so that I can see where the frame needs to sit. I'm just grabbing my hole punch. I'm just back to using a slightly bigger one at the moment, which really needs a clean. Go. And then I'm just going to place that off to the side just like that. I'm going to put a lot of glue on this so that it doesn't come off, and then that part will be done. Just to make sure that I do put it in the right place, I'm just going to put a very small pencil line just there. I am very cautious of doing that with this particular paper because I did try and use some before and I rubbed it and it rubbed off a bit of the colour, which I wasn't very happy about. I actually think that looks really cool, kind of hanging off the side. It looks different. I like it. So now that that one's done, we've really got to work out what we're going to put on the top. The Valentine's collection does come with some very pretty washi tapes. One though is red, and I'm kind of avoiding using red in this particular spread. I just don't want to, and it's just a bit much. And the other one that came with it has the X's and O's on it, which isn't enough. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to use the red. I really love this sheet if I can find it. I think I've already used it about a dozen times. There's probably not another one left. I love this one, but the X's and O's just don't quite cover enough. It's the only problem with these little pages. You really don't get, I think I have to use that blue. You really don't get enough to cover what I want to cover. It's just an unfortunate reality. So what I'm going to do is cut this one right in half. And then stick it down at the top, just like I did with the other one. So I'm going to do that really quickly and I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, so there we go. What I was just kind of thinking while I was doing that was I want to use these letters now, so I think I might cut them out and actually put the LO and the VE on the top, or at least I'm going to give it a try. So I'm going to cut these out really quickly and we'll see how this looks. actually really like that. I think that's going to look really cool. But rather than using my glue tape, and I've just broken my scissors again, I'm just going to grab my sticker maker and run it through that. The other thing I'm really quickly going to do, and this is really scaring me because I'm scared I'm going to mess this up, because I've gone so closely around all the others, I feel like I need to cut out the circle here, and I really hate doing it with a Stanley knife because I'm really suck at it. So I'm going to try and do, let me see if I can get my scissors in here. I've kind of torn that a little bit, but that's okay. I won't notice it. So let's get that sticker maker. I'm just going to run these through here. I did happen to get a new cartridge for it, so I can use it again. Hooray! I'm going to put the lid back on that knife so I don't stab myself with it. I'm just giving that a good rub. Make sure the adhesive's on there. And then just trying to put that basically where I had it set out before. So just a little bit kind of wishy-washy, a little bit not straight. But so you definitely get the point of the word. I'm sure you do. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we've now got this. Now it's time to write in all the details. Some of these things are going to be going, some of them will be staying, and the rest of it's going to go on a little note that'll sit in the envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of that, and I'll be back in just a minute. Rightio, after that insane amount of sport that I've just had to write on there. There we go, that's what it looks like once it's done. Something I've noticed, I put the X and the O on the wrong side. If I want to, I can flip it around so it sits on that side. But all the details are there one way or the other, so that's not a problem. The only thing I do need to do is put a sticker on the back of here, so I'm just jumping into said sticker book. I think that's too big. I really want to use that "and then I met you" sticker, but I have a feeling it's too big. Maybe. Yeah, no, too big, and I don't really want to punch holes in it, it's too pretty. So instead, I'm going to grab this one here. No, I'm going to get this one, this tag here that says "and then I met you." Please excuse Jet, he's chasing birds. I'm just going to tidy this up just a tinth. And then I'm just going to stick that off to the side to kind of, if I did it around the right way that would have been great, to kind of just cover up that plain white on the back. And then just going to grab this little boat to go there. Right, now I just feel like I need something here. And that's where I'm going to put that "and then I met you" sticker. I call it a sticker. Oh well. There we go. I think I'm going to leave it at that. There's a red line there and I don't know where it's come from. There you go. Now it's gone. So that is my Valentine's Day week. It is very subdued this year. If you remember back to last year, it was this bright red, not monstrosity, but it was very, very bright. I like the fact that this one's a little bit more toned down, a little bit more subdued. I love the blue. I think the blue looks really pretty. Let me know what you thought of this one. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, let me know. What could I do differently? I always like to know what I could do differently. I am planning on doing a really bright red week in a couple of weeks' time, which is why I decided not to do it again now for Valentine's Day. I didn't want to repeat myself too much. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. This one for the monthly diary lovers was a bit of a bonus video this month, so if you weren't subscribed, you probably missed that. It is linked down below. You can go and check it out now if you want to. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a really awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday. See you later. Bye!